I don't know what the carry laws are in California, but that'll get you popped.
Rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun?
Yeah.
Especially if you're a pissed-off Indian like these guys.
Sorry. I would beg to disagree. There was a period in June where you could roll down a Rodeo with a shotgun.
You know?
Kick in the window of a Foot Locker.
Face covered in, and then play this song, and Rage is like, this isn't what we meant.
It was pretty wacky. That, like,
This isn't what we meant.
The chief of police was like, don't come to L.A. We can't help you.
Yeah.
We can't save you of something terrible.
Get out of here. Escape from L.A., dude. They should have been blasting that over loudspeakers in L.A.
And somewhere in the distance, you could hear Josh Adam Myers doing a show on a rooftop somewhere.
Hey, yo,
what's up? All right, guys. Happening, doobin'.
Don't forget to use your escape chutes if the people come for you.
Skibbity bop, so in the boat.
Doesn't it suck that you love Rage, but you know they would hate you?
Oh yeah,
they would hate your act so much.
Here's the thing:
what
would bum me out about hanging out with Rage Against the Machine was the thing that I did to bum them out. I wouldn't have thought would be a big deal, and when it turned them off, I'd be like, "That."
Yeah.
Like, he's like, dude, don't say that. And I'm like, That's what you're pissed about? It's not going to be a thing I think they're going to be pissed about.
Yeah.
He's going to be like, hey, the way you described that woman was, and I'm like, Tom, do not do this right now.
Yeah.
I like your music. I used to like to lift weights to your music when I played high school football.
Yeah, just play your record scratchy guitar.
Zach's like, wait, are
Whatever
you the guy? Are you the guy that was shirtless with the spear chanting, oh?
Like,
yeah, he's like, I got a song against that, right?
And you go,
Yeah, but whatever.
Are they not playing it at Knowles games?
Oh, that's where they get you. That's where they definitely get you at the Seminoles.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll fucking get lit up.
He goes,
You go, hey, Tom Morello. You get the fucking face paint on your thing. Hey,
He goes,
Tom Morello.
I'll be right back.
Everybody is this one, is this one. I know you. How do I know you? How do I know you? I go, Joe Rogan? And he goes, you know Joe Rogan? I'm like, uh-oh.
Dude, that's so funny. He's like, I think my uncle is half Cherokee and not pretty happy about your halftime performance.
You know that voice, everybody. Joining the show. It is the machine. Bert Kreischer in the motherfucking house.
Cheers, everybody.
I just had a fucking
Cheers,
burp
dude.
pop up. We were talking about burp, and one just straight up shot up.
Shot up out of you.
Uh-huh.
Bert, does you and your wife fart in front of each other?
Oh, yeah. Leanne, after she got COVID, she was farting really aggressively, and she would fart in her sleep. But it was how you could tell. You know how you can tell when someone goes to sleep when they all of a sudden they switch over to.
Yeah.
It was, you could hear she'd start farting, and you're like, oh, she's asleep. She's ripping farts.
Oh, door's open. Yeah.
Yeah, she had to get a colonoscopy.
Really?
Yeah, she has an inflamed colon. I'm not sure she wants me to share that.
Yeah, but that's
Christine, maybe you have an inflamed colon.
Probably.
Christine just cooked up a fucking doozer on me the other night.
You got to tell them how it happened.
We were going head to toe. I was head to toe watching TV. I lay on my tum-tum and watch TV in bed like this.
Jay was like his legs back kicking.
Yeah.
When we podcasted on the Impractical Jokers cruise, when we did episodes, they would both just sit on their tum-tums.
With my feet, with my knees
I was just
bent.
sit in a chair.
Like,
I think
with
I have
my
a picture.
with my knees bent like this.
I have a picture. I'm going to show Bert.
That's how I watch TV. And so me and Christine are head to toe until I go to crash out and flip over. And she kicked her leg out of the blanket and swung it slow and deliberate, like real high, like coming down on my head. And I was like, so I blocked her leg and I kind of like pushed her leg back up to just have it flop back over. And she just stopped in the middle of the air and she just beefed. I mean, long loudies.
Just fucking ripping it.
You can't get mad at someone when they're asleep about it, but you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah,
be better. Do better, Christine.
You didn't tell Bert the exciting new addition to that story.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, we have a new puppy. We got a little pup. Dawkins. Little Dawkins.
Oh, how adorable.
It is
With all your... that looks like the most Christian white dog.
Yeah,
just
dude.
with all your blackness and fingerless gloves
Yeah,
and chains
Satan.
and tattoos.
Yeah, she's already pretty into Satan, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
Are you going to get her tattooed up? And
Get her sleeved up.
Yeah.
Get her sleeved up. Damn, I definitely want to get her something where it looks like she's tattooed at least.
Yeah, something. You got to make that dog look tough.
Or at least a spiked collar.
My stepsister does dog grooming, and she does all kinds of crazy shit. I bet we could have her do a tattoo design on her white.
No.
What?
Dogs get them. Dogs get them for markers so you can find them later. They get them on their bellies.
Tattoos?
You got to get her like a rough life.
Yeah, dude.
Across the belly.
Get something.
Oh, an Old English?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mayhem?
Yeah, man.
As you're
Same
holding
thing.
Did you watch the Tom and Pammy thing?
I did.
What
Watched
did you
the whole
think?
thing. I thought it was interesting. I thought they acted very good. I thought the show changed dynamic. It was like a weird, like trippy show for the first 2 or 3 episodes with his dick talking and everything. And then it was nothing like that ever again.
How many episodes was it?
8.
8.
It was 8, yeah.
I don't know.
It was 8, but here's.
I'm like my tour manager. I just give you an answer. I don't know what's
It
right.
made me feel way worse for her than I ever did.
Oh, I came out wanting to apologize to her.
Yeah.
And going, hey, I was the guy. I made a joke about her on VH1 on Mark Maron. Remember Mark Maron had a show?
Yeah.
Never mind the Buzzcock?
I was the fucking audience warm-up.
Do you remember the first day we got in there and we just gossiped?
Yeah.
We sat in there and he's like, you got to tell me about ... And I was like, oh, I got stories.
Wait, so you were doing crowd warm up?
I was doing crowd work. Bert was
Him and
doing-
Metzger, right?
Metzger was doing writing.
Oh, yeah,
Metzger was
yeah.
writing up, but Bert came in. It was so great. That was when Mike Reno from Loverboy. You had to find out which person was Mike Reno from Loverboy, and Bert asked him all 3 people who it could have been to turn around and do the finger cross by their ass, which is the album cover, not Mike Reno's ass on the album cover. By and they just picked out the right guy. It was a couple.
Because they give you 3 possible rock stars, and Mike Reno from Loverboy was the one, and they've got to figure out which one it is. So grill him. And I said, the first one, do you remember the first one I did? I went, they're all staring and they're looking into the audience. I go, hey, Mike, and one guy turns his head.
That's funny. That's
and
really
he goes,
funny.
hey, Mike.
Yeah.
He goes, I got a question. Hey, Mike.
Shit.
That was a fun show, but I made a joke about Pamela Anderson on it. They were like, what video is it? And it's where she plays a giant, I think.
Oh, that was lit.
Yeah. And I said, that's not the video I watched of hers. And it got a big laugh. And now I felt guilty knowing how that tape affected her. And I'll tell you, here's the problem with casting, is that Seth Rogen is so fucking lovable that you end up liking the guy that sold the tape.
Yeah, you almost feel
Is
bad
he the
for him.
villain?
He's the loser, yeah.
And he's the villain in the series?
He's
Yeah.
the villain, but he's so lovable and almost defendable.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I didn't see almost defendable true because I think they all agreed that he owed him money and whatever. But
Yeah.
they, Pamela Anderson, what I just didn't realize is how it actually
affected her.
did fucking pretty much end her career as anything more than just like the pinup girl.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty much all she ever did. It never went beyond that. She had like that short-lived sitcom. No one cared.
Yeah, Stacked.
By the way, that was who was my co-host on Molly Culver. Was the co-host on the show we did with Mark Maron. Was her co-host?
Oh, really?
Yeah, Molly Culver
right. Yeah,
was on
from-
Stacked, and she was when we did Mark. Never mind the Buzzcocks.
Really?
She knows Alonzo Bowden really well. They ride motorcycles together.
What was crazy was seeing like I used to know from watching Howard Stern when Pam Anderson would come in with the girls she worked on that VIP show
Yeah,
with.
dude,
Oh,
VIP
it
was
VIP.
that was
VIP. It was
but the
VIP.
girl-
VIP was the beginning of your boy over here hitting puberty and really starting to jerk to whatever.
Yeah.
Acapulco Heat, VIP, most USA programming could make me pop.
Silk Stalkings,
Silk
dude.
Easy,
Dude,
fucking
dude.
Pacific Blue.
In Florida, we had a thing called Foxy Boxing,
Oh.
and it would come on channel 48 or 32 at like 2 o'clock.
Public
at night.
access?
Public access. And it was
you
chicks
fuck.
with wet white T-shirts cut to here,
on.
beating the fuck out of each other, and you would it was the best way to jack off because.
So innocent.
You'd be sitting there and going like, what am I going to do? What am I? There's nothing. Foxy Boxing would come on, and you knew you had to jerk off within a finite amount of time, and shut your door, lock it, jerk off, and make sure you could get it in time.
You should call that the firefighter beat. You're like the fucking bell started ringing, and you're like, "Fucking go, get out of these pants."
This is
fucking.
This is high end Ronnie B time. This is high end.
Yeah,
Ronnie B runs Tampa during Foxy Boxing.
I love that.
I would be shocked if he wasn't very familiar with Foxy Boxing.
If he like
Probably
knew the
narrated
promoter
or something one time, yeah.
He's like, that guy actually owes me because I put him over on the radio. Foxy Boxing,
is this Foxy
super
Boxing?
Foxy Boxing.
Does it say it's from Tampa?
By the way, this is the '80s.
It's probably from Tampa.
When
Yeah.
if you ever said like, ever were like, hey, maybe a CTE, they'd be like, you're gay.
I'll tell you
There's no
something
such thing.
I still
as
say I
brain
miss.
damage.
For some reason.
When was that video? That video was great.
Because it's gone, I miss the high, not flat, but the high, long 80s, early 90s ass on a woman.
Dude, I'm trying to.
Look at
I
that.
mean, with the up on the side.
Just high and
How
long.
great would it be if you saw Fez right there?
Yeah, just Fez Watley in the back.
Rest in peace, Fez.
Rest in peace.
Look, this is the most 80s video. We'll tweet it out at the Bonfire SXM. By the way, got him fighting in the
Dude,
phone
I
booth.
could have fucking pounded to this as a child.
Yeah, this right here, any sort of aggression, I would have been like, oh.
Oh my god! I'll tell
Yeah,
you what. I'll tell you what.
Oh,
back
shit.
fist.
Spinning back fist. All right, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Well,
Oh, this guy's a shitty ref.
she's just getting her pinned in the corner. I bet that
This is how Rogan got his start.
was calling these.
Calling these Foxy Boxing.
I thought you meant refing.
She's hurt. She's hurt. Dude, look
This
at the
this girl's been in a fight or two with
was
a
fucking
dude.
Yeah, that one that just knocked her down's got 3 kids for sure. She's
definitely
27.
She was definitely yelling her boyfriend's name as she was doing that. I hate you, Curtis. I fucking hate you. Dude, this ref is wild. This ref is awesome.
He's gay, so he doesn't grope him.
He's like, oh, bitch, stop it. You guys are pushing each other around. Look at those little skibbies.
damn, man.
Yeah.
But
If I
VIP,
had
anyway,
this
the
as a
thing about
kid-
VIP, the VIP thing was the girl Natalie, whoever the other girl from the show was. They used to go on the Howard Stern together, and she was so goddamn hot. And when they did the documentary,
Bring up
like
the
that-
cast of VIP.
when they
I
did
think
that,
that's what Molly Culver was in.
Yeah.
when they did that, what they did the documentary, not the Hulu thing, but there was like a 1 episode, some new show on like
Wasn't that-
Fox or FX or something.
Is that
that's like-
Pam Anderson's? Because she's coming out.
No,
with
she's
something.
doing a whole documentary. This was just like, it's called like Superstar something, like Scandals, and it's like a 1 hour kind of. It was pretty good, but the girl talking in it was that girl Natalie. Now, and I haven't seen her since Howard Stern, like in the late '90s, and it's weird seeing these like. It doesn't seem long enough ago for them to not be.
Yeah,
her,
bring up.
for sure.
Yeah, bring
I
up.
mean, she was
but bring up like
smoking.
when them together as a cast.
I know Natalie. I know Natalie.
She was so.
Wait, what else was
smoking
she in?
hot.
What else was she in?
Click on her.
My dreams and go to IMDb. What
Oh,
else
I
was she?
remember her.
What else was she in? She was in like Uncle
Martial
Buck
Law
or something.
Ganked.
She was in
Hip Hop Harry. Maybe that's what you're thinking of her from.
Maybe that's it. I'm thinking of
Martial
someone else.
Law, dude.
Pink. Yeah, she. You know what? I think Pam Anderson's video also ruined her career somehow because that didn't go well.
She's like, I really shouldn't have jumped on.
But
that
if you
bullet
see
for
her
Pam.
now, I mean, she was unreal hot, and then now she's like. Again, it's not that she's not like a beautiful girl still. It's just like
It sucks.
seeing time happen to everyone.
It sucks. And it happens to your wife sometimes. And then all of a sudden you get reading glasses and you're like, I haven't seen this bitch in high def in 10 years.
Like, who are you? Who are you,
Fucking,
lady?
what happened to this face?
In high def.
Yeah,
He goes, let me see if these things even work. Do I even have a
Yeah.
Oh,
Who are you?
are your eyes always like you've been punched, or what's going on?
He does that where he goes, can I help you, miss? She goes, what? He goes, oh, holy
He goes,
shit.
what is all this up here?
Yeah.
No, it's right here.
What's all this happening?
When did this happen?
Oh, this way and this way. Yeah, she was smoking, and then to see her now, it's just fucking wacky. She's an older lady.
Hello, boys.
Yes, gentlemen.
I'll tell you who's number one hot chick alive is Who Married Seal.
Heidi
Heidi
Klum?
Klum?
Dude,
Come on.
so our kids went to dance class together, and it's funny, you don't recognize Seal. I know that sounds crazy. You don't really recognize Seal. Seal's fucking big, and he's like a big dude.
Yeah.
And he's skinny, and he's in great shape.
He's also covered in facial scars.
I know, and I swear to God, you don't recognize
I thought
Seal.
that was going to be one of the 7 things you said.
I thought you were going to be like, oh, it goes from like,
He wears black shirts. He's tall, jewelry, bald head, the whole thing.
Heidi Klum is the 2 women that I've seen in real life that are so beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't stop staring at them. You don't even know they're famous. You're just staring at them.
Mm-hmm.
Is Heidi Klum and Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese
really?
Witherspoon is so beautiful. I walked past her. She was writing in her diary. This is right over around her breakup with the fucking
Ryan Phillippe?
Yeah. She's writing in her diary at this place called Jones on 3rd. And I walk by, and she's just so attractive. You can't. And I leaned in, and I go, what you writing about? To talk to her, and she was like, excuse me? And I was like, oh, fuck, that's Reese Witherspoon. And she was writing clearly about like drama in her life in her diary. She is remarkably beautiful.
Where was it? In New York? LA?
I know, L.A., Jones on 3rd.
what
I
you
was gonna say,
right?
when she
She's
was
like,
young-
I'll fucking stab. She just stabs you
When
with the
she was
pen.
young, like
Get the fuck out.
like Freeway, I thought she was the best. But she's still gorgeous.
She's
But she
gorgeous.
became such like a Hollywood person.
But Heidi-
I lost the thing. I'm telling you.
Heidi Klum is you're staring at her, and then your wife says, do you need something from her? And you're like, what is wrong? Like, what's up with that? That's weird, right?
I feel like Salma Hayek is probably that level of gorgeous.
I sat next to Salma Hayek at a table read, and I couldn't even look at her.
But
I
I'm
was like
saying,
this
and
close to her.
another
I
one
was
now.
like-
She's a lady now, as is Reese Witherspoon, as is Heidi Klum. They're older ladies.
Yeah, but she
now.
walked in the
Heidi
room.
Klum looks just as good today as she did when she was a kid.
And I would say Salma Hayek walked in, and I was like, "Holy shit!" When she walked in,
She's stunning.
Salma Hayek's got the best.
Who's your
tits.
current? Who's your younger crush?
Like, I think who's
more
the girl
contemporary.
on? There's a girl on Nickelodeon I like.
That is that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I go. Wow, you're going down to the farm league, huh?
No, my daughter's got a friend.
Yeah.
My daughter's friend Stacy. No, you can just tell she's gonna be hot.
Man, if he got that level of fame, where
So-
he was saying shit like that, where you're like, Dad, I don't know if I would say that on the radio.
Mine's
Fucking, you know.
I just watched the Saturday Night Live repeat with this one, and I think mine right now is her, H-E-R. I think she is just
Put her in,
H-E-R.
let me see.
Oh, the musician?
Just fucking gorgeous.
But so what age are we talking about young? Because I can't go past
This
33.
lady's probably in her
33s.
20s or
Yeah,
something.
that's fair. 30s.
I had a conversation with this about someone. I had with the guys we fuck girls about the perfect age, and this guy wrote, "It's great listening to old people try to justify fucking old people."
Yeah.
And I was like, because I guess they would all just.
Christine, don't bring up their performance. Bring up I guess
hers.
this is a good place to see the performance, though, what she does. It's so hot. She's just smoking hot. Beautiful. And she's like Prince. She's super talented.
I didn't know she was on American Idol. I think I told you that.
I don't know either.
She was on American Idol. Her.
Oh, really? Christine said she's a Prince protege, but I think she might have just pulled that out of her ass.
Somebody told me that.
She was. She was like, I think got far in American Idol when she was young, and then went away and came back as her.
And her, talk about flying your finger to the non-binary folk. I am her.
Yeah.
Suck it.
It must stand for something. Because it's H period, E period.
Oh.
But I mean, still,
I don't really have.
I think she's gorgeous.
I think I end up finding older women sexy because it's almost like watching. It's almost like watching the latest Jackass. We're like, I can't believe he's still doing it. You know, like
Yeah.
She's still
Like,
fucking
There is something to
going.
that.
it's like any
Yeah.
like 25-year-old. Of course, they look beautiful.
You know who the first woman I remember being like that was? Sophia Loren. I remember being like, these grumpier old men being like, damn, this
Raquel
old woman
Welch,
is
too.
throwing fucking Raquel Welch. This old woman is throwing heat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when they were home together, but I used to jerk off to a lot of fat porn because I was like, well, I could probably fuck this chick for real, and I could really fantasize about it easier. But then I was like, it's a waste of time.
I don't have to make as many brain jumps.
Voluptuous magazine and what are the other ones?
Voluptuous?
Oh yeah, voluptuous.
Please look up voluptuous.
Please.
I just want to see what their title card is. I just want to see how they.
Voluptuous was magazine.
Oh yeah, the magazine.
It's voluptuous.
I think it's spelled voluptuous.
I think it's way funnier if it's called voluptuous.
I think it's voluptuous is so much better.
Voluptuous is.
I don't think it's a magazine if you spell it that way.
Voluptuous is just a description. Voluptuous is a hilarious.
Yeah, I think that was the joke.
Yeah, dude. Look at it.
No, he's right. It's just voluptuous.
I've never been with a really big chick.
Really?
No,
I
I mean, my wife's like 135, but I don't
That's
think
not-
that's big.
it's not big
But
even
if you
sort
saw
of.
her naked, you'd be like, she's. Well, that sounds horrible. But if you saw her naked, she's not. It's not like what she wants to look like. And she lost a bunch of weight. She got to like 125, 115, and I didn't like it so much.
I was just like, I could picture that there's a course of life.
Is that Amy Schumer?
There's a
On the
There's
fourth
a-
one, she got to preview the Oscars coming up.
I just thought there was, when I was younger and was jerking off to porn magazines even, I was like, there's a course of life
Yeah.
that if I lined up, like, I could fuck a chick who looks like, and I'd find the thing. I'm like, oh, these girls do have very pretty face and those tits are awesome. Like, sure, they're 90%
dude,
stretch
that's
mark.
what- I used to jerk off to Abused Monthly
Yeah,
because I was like, she doesn't trust anything. When books dropping on the
But
floor
I never-
scares her, I can get her.
play like you
circumstantially, I never-
practice. Play like you practice.
But like
Just get
circumstantially,
ready.
I never like
Treat it
jerked
like a
off to
super-
like Barely Legal magazine and all that kind of stuff because I was like the young, beautiful, like smoking hot girls. I was like, these girls. I was like, what's the fantasy of you? I'll never see this.
I remember legitimately in high school looking at girls of the Pac-10 and being like, hey, these girls wouldn't want me. What am I doing?
Right,
Like going
that's
through like
so-
Arizona State and you're like, these fucking.
So you look like, did it
I
cause-
went to school in the Pac-10 and they didn't want me. I was right.
But if
I
you
was
looked at
right
Fat,
from
Fat
the.
Pigs magazine, you probably could have fucked 8 of them.
But if
I
I'm
got
going-
depressed. I would get actually depressed. I'm not even joking.
Really?
I would get depressed the same way someone would look at a yacht and go, I'll never have one of those.
Yeah.
I would look at, my mom had Vogue and Bazaar magazine, and I would look at some of the women's in there and get sad.
'Cause you're like, this is
Because I was
never
like,
gonna
that
happen.
will never happen for me.
Yeah.
I'm never going to, because I was like some kid in Lutz, Florida. I was like, what are the odds I get on a yacht with a girl with perfect nipples that are hairless?
Just dreaming about nipples. Just the perfect nipples. They're in big cities.
I've
Like-
said this before. I've never seen someone put their nipple in a dude's dick hole, and there's
like
I'm just-
the.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
Christine, come around.
Get over here, Jake.
I wanna
Get it ready.
I
What
want to
is
see.
that even?
It's an in-ground trampoline.
It's an in-ground trampoline, Christine.
Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's our clip, little bonfire context.
Hit it with some context.
A couple weeks ago, Dan said we went to this place. It was awesome. They had an in-ground trampoline.
Yeah, we got an Airbnb with an in-ground trampoline.
And Christine proceeded to say,
What? What is that even?
Like,
and then I started to answer it, but I went, it's all right there in the title of the thing.
it's an in-ground trampoline. So now that's...
What?
And then, by the way, so I thought when I said that, she was kind of like, oh, I get it now. And then 15 minutes later in the show, I go, like Christina knowing what an in-ground trampoline is. She goes, I just looked it up. I get it now. I go, you had to look it up. The word still didn't get you.
It was right there.
Wow.
It was right there. All explained.
Yikes.
Do you have that?
Dig a hole.
Do you have that story about that teacher with the vape cartridges?
You got to dig a hole.
Is it called licorice pizza?
Yeah. Is that
I saw it the other night.
Is it good?
Well, I mean, yeah,
I got the
yeah, it's
screener.
great. Let me start by saying, it is a great movie. It is beautifully shot. It is well acted. I mean, fantastically acted. The Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, or the boy.
Oh, I didn't know that's his son.
That's his son that plays the
shit.
boy, and he is fucking riveting. He has got his daddy's genes of like putting it on the fucking screen.
Yeah.
The girl that plays him is awesome. I love that their teeth were normal.
Yeah, she's from Haim.
It was fucking awesome.
Who's it?
I think it's one of the girls from Haim.
Oh, really?
Haim? I think you mean her.
No.
Haim?
Haim.
What's Haim?
The group, the music group.
Yeah, the sisters. They're a music group.
Oh,
One
well,
of them is
her whole family's in it. Her dad's in it, her mom's in it, and her sisters are in it.
Oh shit.
And so it's awesome. But
I might be wrong.
the root of the story is
Look that up, Christine.
a 15-year-old fall in love with a 25-year-old, and then she ends up
Licorice pizza.
fucking him or dating
The
him.
25-year-old does?
Yeah, and so it's like a little hard to look past that. If you're asking me to be woke and you want me to start paying attention to certain things, then I can't not notice that.
That a 25-year-old fucks a 15-year-old?
Yeah, like I can't not notice that. Like it's like I get it.
The casual pedophilia?
Yeah,
Is one of them trans and it's okay?
If you're going to take all context out of everything we say on podcasts, all of it, forever, then we have to also take context out of everything else.
I love Paul Thomas Anderson. Can't believe he put pedophilia in a movie. That's just why you have to do it.
Yeah.
Can't believe he would be this sick with pedophilia.
What was the one?
Don't cancel
say my
him,
name. Say
bud.
my name. Call me by my name. Call me by my name.
That was the gay older guy with the young guy, right?
Yeah, and you're like, isn't that what Milo said?
Oh, well, I'll tell you something.
Look, I'm not a Milo fan, but I'm saying like
No, but
that's
it's
what he said.
But it's interesting. I've said this. It's weird. The organic nature. I watch all these. YouTube has endless hours of homemade pedophile hunts. Where people go on
dude.
pedophile.
You have no. Jay's in
I went
so
on one
deep.
last
He went
week.
on one. He's in with the
Didn't
pedophile
catch
hunters.
anybody, but we watched a guy run for his life in a.
Are you being
Walmart
serious?
parking
Yeah,
lot.
Jay's in with amateur pedophile hunters.
Hold on,
Like, he goes-
because I saw one where they got the wrong guy.
Yeah. That was a famous one. That wasn't this guy, but like.
Do you know what I'm talking about though?
Yeah. And the guy's like, yeah, it's not. And then by the time he goes, no, I didn't say that. And here's my thing. It's not me. And they were like, sorry. Yeah. They had to eventually be like, sorry. There's also the famous one with the woman who was getting the girl for her and her boyfriend, and then she's just bitch. She's still like,
God,
because
that was great.
She's still a Karen, even though she's caught.
Yeah, she gets caught outside, and it's like we broke it down. It's like a whole long thing where this guy's like, "But you're trying to get a girl. You're trying to get a young girl," and she's like, "Shut
But
the
I will
fuck
say,
up."
the guy who I was going to go with recently,
insane.
the person I was going to go with recently, or that I went on the hunt with, he looks for, and for whatever reason, it builds such a more interesting story of a vile human being when you're catching a guy, because a lot of these guys think they're talking to a 9-year-old girl. You have daughters, you know.
I have daughters,
Nine.
and this is running really close to home. Because keep going, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, but we had remember we found Isabella when she was like 16 or something, right? There was some
14.
14 even. Yeah, we found out some guy on some website was like, and it was funny the back and forth. She was such a kid still that she's like, what's your favorite song? And he's like, I want to fuck you. And she's like, oh, okay.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, who
How
was
does
that
it
by?
go?
Is that a Bieber hit?
And it was like weird shit like that for sure. So
Rape you, and she's like, I like Nirvana too.
Yeah,
but
oh, my
for whatever
dad's
reason,
into them.
and this is, I said, if this is unpopular, and I understand it's still illegal, and if they get in trouble, they get in trouble. So I'm not defending it at all. However, I'm less taken back. There was one guy who did a lot of New York and New Jersey pedophile hunts. And
This was your guy.
He was almost exclusively, he was some of the most entertaining hunts, but he was exclusively getting like gay 20-something-year-olds, or maybe older even. I shouldn't say just 20-something-year-olds because it's not, but plenty of 20-something-year-olds who were going to go meet with like a 15 9-year-old boy, and I'm like, it's not okay. I know that. It's not striking me as hard as a guy trying to fuck a 9-year-old girl and get her, like, to get somebody to secretly drive her to the house. I'm like, I think this is what I've always heard is kind of what happens in the gay community, and they're kind of like cool about it.
One of our friends we know, I'm not going to say his name, but comic who's gay. That's how that was
Bobby
his
Lee.
First,
You heard
his
it here
first
first.
experience.
It's kind of I had friends that ended up, they were 2 14-year-olds that were in a relationship with a guy that was 26 who was like playing
that's too
different.
That's
like if you're
crazy.
saying, like, here's the
But
deal.
like playing different sides of it.
Christine jumps in. She goes, "It's totally normal." I had a friend who was 11 years old. She was having sex with a 56-year-old man.
My dad used to fuck
I'm saying
babies.
when they were
Yeah.
14, they thought it was cool, but it ended up being a
She
lawsuit
goes,
later.
you grow up, you realize that 56 is still old.
Well, we had a. I'm trying to paint. I hope my daughter never hears this, but so the other day I go to buy coffees. You've heard this, but I go to buy coffees for my daughters early in the morning, and I go to text George, I'm my oldest, and I'm like, yeah, and she doesn't answer, and I call, and I'm like, she's sound asleep. I go, what are you doing? She goes, let me call you back. And I was like, okay. And then she doesn't call back, so I Life 360 her, and I'm just being real. The place she was staying wasn't a nice area of town.
Yeah, what's Live 360?
It's Life 360 is you can track your family members. You
Damn.
And you can set up your daughter's phone so she doesn't know you're tracking her. Anyway.
So you can tag them.
You're a psycho ex-boyfriend, Dad. I go, I'm fucking.
I'll tell you
worse.
something. My daughter's 19, and I tell you, I don't want that. I
You don't want
wanna
to
have
see where she is. You go, Washington
Well, here's the thing.
Heights,
Also, because I'll tell you,
4
at
in
19,
the morning.
and you have a good relationship with your daughters too. So I think this is what I think is awesome about Isabella more than anything. She'll tell me. She's like, yeah, we're going to like a club night. It's like 18 and over club or whatever, and we're this, and she tells me if like. She doesn't really drink at all, but like she was saying, if like this one drank or so and so's drunk, they're taking Ubers. And if I say, "Hey, just let me know when you're home safe, please," if it's 3 a.m, which I hate at 19 years old, she texts me. You know what I mean? And like, so I don't want to like track her because like I think she's like pretty honest with me. And the things she wouldn't be honest with, if she was like, "I'm going to a club tonight," and it's just, and she's 19 and she's going to meet a guy, or whatever. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I shouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine texting my dad I was home safe at 19 years old. Like, that just seems so
Christine was getting
wild.
GB'd by 17.
So you 360 and you see she's staying in in a part of town that you're like,
I can show you that. I can show you the apartment. This is gonna come back to fuck me, but and it's just it's an apartment. It's not where she said she was staying.
oh no.
It's an apartment, and I fucking melt down.
How old is she?
17. I very quickly say I call my wife. My wife's like, here's what's great about Georgia's schools, that all the parents come from different backgrounds. There are parents that don't have a ton of money that are living in apartments, so it's probably that's where she is. And I said no, and the name she had said to me, I know where they live.
Yeah.
And I start spiraling. And what happens is I turn into the guy that got cheated on in college.
Yeah.
And that's who I turn into.
Yeah, you go back to that exact moment of like the shitty pain of discovering it. And you're
By the way,
it gets worse and worse and worse.
By the way, I had CPS called on me from the school for yelling at my daughter because they were telling me she was unaccounted for at 1.4 hours. And yeah, I went like, I'm like, yo, what do you mean? Like, I trust you guys with my daughter. Yeah, so it's very like, I get it.
And I start saying to Leanne, she lied to us. No, she lied to us. She lied to us, and she's at a dude's house, like a dude's apartment. She's at a dude's apartment, and I know now where he lives. I know where he lives, and I go, first thing I'm doing is I'm cutting his fingers off. I'm going to cut his fingers off.
Yeah.
Because, and he is going to jail, and we will press charges, and that is how this works.
Dude.
Welcome to the fucking real world.
You're like, throw on Taken in the back.
And then-
I'm going
and
to
then-
clean my gun.
And then I
Let's
say,
get
Think
fucking
you're just gonna
nuts.
fuck my daughter without
Oh my
ending your
God.
shit?
He's like,
Can I tell? I'm not gonna go too. I don't want to burn bridges in this.
Sure.
But anyway, I start, and then I get home.
was
I'm
Chris
even
D'Elia's
worse.
house.
I'm even worse.
son of a bitch.
Don't think I didn't.
I
first.
understand. He's
look,
charming.
I'm friends with Chris. I'm not talking shit about Chris.
That's
But,
fine. I'm not talking shit. It's just funny.
Yeah, but I was like, I start spiraling, and then I get home, and I have coffees for this little girl. My little girl. And I say to Leanne, she's cheating on us.
That's so funny.
And Leanne's like, what the fuck did you just say? She goes, you need to stop. Because we had a moment where Georgia did some bad, just drank and stuff, regular
It's
stuff. And I
17.
lost my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17, normal stuff. And I lost my shit.
And where's she supposed to be this night?
at a friend's house. It's one girl's name. This is the one I heard. She gets home, and I said, "So, how would last night go?"
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
When she pulled up, because you got a front lawn, you have a nice place, and she's walking up to your house. Are you like, fuck? Because when I wind
I
up,
can answer for you. You're like, here's the moment. Your heart thumping. I bet. Like you're gonna get into a fist fight.
Racing.
yeah, it's up in your
Racing.
throat. You know what's crazy is when you're a kid and you fuck up. You have no idea that your parents are on the ropes like that.
No.
Yeah.
You think they're cool and calm and they're just mad that they're just only moving forward.
No,
you
your
don't
heart
realize.
thumping. You're because also like. I'm responsible for you, and like, what the fuck is? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know something about you, and I thought I know everything.
I'm just saying, if you're a teenager and you're listening to this, use that. Use it against your parents. They're just as wobbled as you are.
Oh, I was in the stool
Because
in
you're
the
just
corner.
like, fuck it, I'm going to kill her.
I'm fucking shaking. I'm so mad. And Leanne's like, I've said to Georgia, she got busted drinking recently, and I didn't get mad on the road. You were there. I didn't get mad. I said, hey, let's start from here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. You're going to fuck up. If we start from a place of honesty from here on out, I'm not going to get mad. We can just be honest. And I'm like, this motherfucker, I told her we're going to be honest. Leanne's like, stop. So Georgia comes in, and I'm fucking trembling. And I go, where'd you stay last night? She says the girl's name. I'm not listening. I don't even know.
You're just waiting to say your line?
I said, oh, so cool. Where do her parents live? And she says the
Bad
two
part of town.
The two like very vaguely, and I'm like, well, here we go. We're getting caught. And then I go, that's so interesting. And then she says, yeah, it's like I think it's across the street from a park or something. And I was like, oh wait, there was a park on Zillow.
That's so funny.
There was a park on Zillow. And I was like, wait, is that up on Burbank? And she goes, it's either Burbank or Magnolia. And I was like, oh. I go, is it a house? And she goes, no, it's an apartment. She goes, I go, what does her mom do? She goes, her mom's a nurse. And I said, what's her dad doing? She goes, I don't know. She doesn't have a relationship with her dad. And I went, oh, this is all tracking pretty accurately. And then I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, so shit.
And I'm
that
like,
sucks.
and Leanne is like, what? Leanne's like, she just got caught not cheating.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I got you coffee. She's like, oh, thanks, Dad. And I was like, cool. I was like, you want to go for a hike later? She's like, yeah, I'd love to. And she walks away, and Leanne goes, you motherfucker. She goes, you were about to light her up, and I was gonna destroy her.
Yeah.
But that fucking energy,
That feeling is brutal.
You're right. It's like all the shit that comes up from getting cheated on when
You're feeling those feelings again. But man, getting proven wrong and just watching it step by step, where you're like, fuck, there is a park. Okay.
Yeah, where were you? This place? Right.
Do you think it'd be better if you couldn't track her? Like if it was just like the night.
No, I've busted her so many times.
Yeah.
She came home one night and I was like, hey, how was the AA meeting? And she was like, huh? I was like, you guys sit in the church parking lot for fucking 4 hours? And she was like,
Damn.
How do you know I was in the church parking lot? I was like, Life 360, bitch. I follow you everywhere.
Damn.
Oh, you told her.
Listen, if
I was
she
gonna
turns her
do
Life 360 off, I go, turn it back on. I know it's off. Turn it back on. And I do it because I go, here's the deal. Let's be honest. You're going to college next year. You will drink. You will do drugs.
Sure.
That is the future.
Do you turn that off at 18?
No. Only because if God forbid something happens to her, I want to be able to find her.
Yeah, you've watched too many movies where girls, first 2 years of college. That's what taking.
And I know too many. And I know too
But I
many
almost
dudes.
would do that. But I
Yeah.
almost would do
Yeah.
that. I almost would do that. Like I said before, and be like, I'm not going to check it unless there's some kind of a thing where
Unless
I've lost track of you.
unless your
for-
spider senses go off and you haven't talked to her.
I
in a
don't even think
while.
about that. I think again, Isabel's 19, and here's what you're about to have happen. It's very interesting that I could tell you just being that short a time ahead of you. And me and Christine were talking about this the other day. Actually, is that in one day, and it's her 18th birthday. No matter what, it is just different, just by law and everything. It is different. She could say the next day, like, I'm moving to England, bye, and just go. Just doesn't need your permission. She doesn't need your blessing. She doesn't need anything. And it's really good that you've built this kind of relationship with them now that, like, as I said, I don't feel like my daughter's rebelling in any way. She's just living on her own. And she's so my personality that, like, I said the one day her friends went out to like some club party or something, and then one of them got I think the roommate that was here the other day got like plastered and was making like an ass out of herself, and Isabel was kind of like the one responsible for getting him back, and then she had to drop her off at home and then go back to the party. And I know as she's telling me the story, I know her well enough to go. I go, Now, when you dropped your roommate off, you had no interest in going back out to that party. She's like, no, but the girl already paid for the round trip Uber, so I went, and then she was drunk, and that was annoying. So it's like I know her, and she'll tell me that. You've built a good basis for that.
So,
I wouldn't worry
then
too
help
much.
me parent this.
But it is weird that like in 17, I mean, I remember that time again. She was like in trouble a little bit before her 18th birthday. Like, you can't go outside. Like, we're taking this away from you.
Yeah.
And then she was 18, moved out not long after, and you're just like,
Well,
all right,
bye.
you're a little person. Yeah, it's like you can make your own
And
decisions if you're going to go home
stuff
later.
when
or
she
not.
was 17 that would be like scary. Like the fact of the matter is, if Isabel went and spent the night at a guy's house, it's like that's her. She's 19, dude. Like that's her right.
Can.
I'm cutting fingers
Like
off at
that's
17.
she can.
I'm cutting fingers
No, right
off.
now.
Yeah.
Just know, you should almost encourage her to start seeing boys so you can hurt someone before she's 18,
Just,
which is okay.
just to show the damage that you're capable of doing.
Yeah, just let her know my dad's a bit of a psycho. Although, what I have created with that, though, is my daughter said pretty blatantly to me, like, unless she was ready for a guy to meet family, I wouldn't know about a guy she was dating. And I was like, yeah, it's probably for the best. I get it. She was like, she goes, first thing, you're going to make fun of him until he wants to not see me anymore. She's like,
That's accurate. And he's going to come up on the podcast or on the radio show.
Oh yeah.
She was like, yeah. She was like,
She's
so
going
I
to be
can't-
on 4 different
She goes-
versions of.
She's
there's
like,
gonna
until
be-
it's a guy who's completely in on the thing. She goes, then right? She's like, then maybe.
Yeah, she's like, you're not meeting anybody. She's like, I wouldn't even tell you if I was dating someone.
I argued. I go, have you never been on a date in your entire life? She's like, you wouldn't know. I was
That's
like,
what Georgia said
that's
to me.
fair.
Isla went on her first date, and
Really?
and we weren't allowed to call it a date, and we had to be, we had to be very careful
Was
about
it a hang or
It
something?
was a hang. It was a friend, and they went and saw a movie, and Isla was like, "Hey, don't turn this into a bit. It's not a bit."
That's
Like,
so funny that that's a lead for a kid to go like, "Hey, Dad, this stays off stage.
Yeah.
I don't need a fucking bit about this. I'm going with a nice guy. I kind of that's.
Oh, I got to
crazy.
run it all by them.
Because you're
Yeah.
used to being as a comic when you write a joke about someone calling them and being like, "Hey, listen, I filmed a special. There's a joke about you in it. Here's the joke."
Yeah.
Instead of being like, "Don't fucking do a bit about me."
Isla said one of the funniest statements. I can't say it here because it's going to be my special. Isla said one of the funniest statements ever, and it is the most horrific, cancelable statement you could ever make, and it made me cry laughing. And I'm putting it in my special.
Has she seen the bit yet?
She has not, and I said I got to run a couple things by you guys. And Isla
That's the
goes,
funniest part where you're like, I got a couple things you might want to see.
I talked about them getting their periods.
Yeah.
And it went viral, and then I put it in a special. But like I think part of me goes now I'm like, hey, I want to make sure you're clear because like when Elliot Page transitioned.
Jacob.
Sorry, Jake. That was Jacob's number one.
Oh
Yeah, Jacob's been jerking off to a guy all these years, turns out. He had no idea.
Jacob got hit with the switcheroo.
Elliot Page looks awesome.
Yeah.
And but when
Tell
he
Jacob.
transitioned, I had a joke. I just said a joke in the like because our big show is Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And out of respect for my daughter Georgia, I won't say the joke. But Leanne showed me a picture, and I just went, and everyone laughed. And then Georgia goes, nope. And I went, what? She goes, that doesn't go on stage. And I go, baby, first of all, you don't tell me what goes on stage. That pays for college, number one. Number two, it's a joke. And by the way, I'm just telling your mom.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, Dad, I'm the girl that has to go to school and be like, hey, I know your dad. He's the transphobic asshole. And I was like, I don't like the joke enough. I don't like the joke enough.
Dude,
and she's
Dude,
like,
my
and
daughter-
you're a big fan. And Elliot Page wrote, it's the jokes that bother me. And she goes, and you're doing just that. And if you're a fan, don't do it. I went, all right, whatever. Fuck, I don't care.
Dude,
I'll write a joke about you.
From the Mouths of Babes was my favorite. I think I've told you, I may have told this in the show before, but it's one of my favorite Isabella things when she was young, like something that's cancelable. But like it was funny. We went when she was little, like 6, 7 years old.
Can I get another cocktail?
You sure? When Isabella was 6, 7 years old, I took her to go to a Sixers Nets game. And she kept saying the Sixers were wearing their black jerseys, and Nets were wearing white jerseys. She kept saying, we're rooting for the black guys, right? Not the white guys. And I kept correcting her, going like, yes, we're rooting for the guys in the black jerseys, and the white jerseys or the white shirts are the other team. She goes, okay. And then, they'd switch. She goes, are the black guys coming this direction first time? Or are they going, I go, the black shirt guys are coming this way now, and then halftime they're going to go the other direction. She goes, okay. And I just kept correcting, probably about 5 more times. And then at one point, just loud, she goes, why are all the players brown? And I was like, and I had to be like, that one she meant.
Yeah.
She meant that one exactly.
We're
how
not
it sounded.
talking about the jerseys.
I'm sorry. We have to take a break. I don't even know how we might come back with 2 minutes left. Either way, Bert Kreischer is on fucking tour, everybody.
Go check him out.
Bert.com. You can check him out in New Jersey, Massachusetts, Poughkeepsie, Brooklyn, and Providence. For tickets and all
East
tour
Coast.
dates again.
Coast.
Bert.com.
You're welcome.
Ooh, Spanish Caravan.
Oh yeah, dude. One of the best fucking.
Dan Soder going to be in Hollywood Comedy Store March 31st, and Cobb's Comedy Club in San Fran the 1st and the 2nd of April. Rhode Island, Austin coming up after that. For tickets and all tour dates, go to dansoder.com.
Big J. Okerson this weekend. Fort Wayne, Indiana, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Detroit, Michigan with Bobby Kelly and Ari Shafir March 24th through the 26th. After that, Ontario, California, DC, and New Jersey. For tickets and other tour dates, bigjcomedy.com. Also bonfiremerch.com. We'll be right back. Hanging out with Bert Kreischer. It's the Bonfire.
You've been listening to SiriusXM's Bonfire. New episodes every Tuesday through Friday mornings and full shows always on SiriusXM.